All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to yet another First Play on launch day. This is a game right up my alley. So this is a game that has a unique idea. I like it. Paper Nebula looks like a spaceship crafted out of paper, like a folded paper airplane. And then this looks like, other enemies made out of paper. So Paper Nebula is a fast-paced arcade-style scroller, reinvented as a roguelike. The space shooter will have you blasting through endless waves of alien ships while trying to scout a way out of the nebula. With adorable paper-style graphics and intense gameplay, who wouldn't want to be trapped here? So it already has 4 user reviews. It just came out today, October 20th, the same day I'm reviewing it and upon it. So my review will not be the first review of this game. Pixel Bakery, let's take a look at them. They have a free demo for you. So that is always cool. It's right here. Download the demo. But I went ahead and purchased this game. It is this developer's first title on Steam. And yeah, we see here that it looks like pretty, common space game kind of gameplay here. And we're continuing to look down, coming October 2022. Now, down here, we already have 4 user reviews. All of them just have either one review or a handful of reviews. And all of these reviewers seem to be out of Australia. This tells me a couple of things. It tells me that the developer is very likely out of Australia as well, and that these reviews here are likely friends of the developer or alternate accounts of the developer themselves. I'm hoping for the former, the friends of the developer, but none of these reviews look to be very critical or maybe even honest. Because when we look up here, guys, at the price tag for the game, we see this game comes in at a baffling 18 US dollars. Okay, so it better be damn good to get my thumbs up with an $18 price tag on this, especially when you look at gameplay like this. Um, I mean, you guys already know by clicking on the thumbnail what I think of this game before I even play it, but I'm leaning towards, yeah, this is probably going to be really bad. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know that it's going to be bad enough to deserve a miss, but like I said, you guys already know. But let's go ahead and take a look at what I think of this game and why I gave the score I did, or why I gave it the thumbnail that you've already looked at. We'll see what's up with Paper Nebula, and we'll do that right after this. All right, guys, we are launching Paper Nebula. We see that it's made with Unity, and there's our developer logo. I like it. Pretty nice. All right, Pixel Bakery. So, as I was already scared of, guys, we have no way to control the sound, no options at all. We have credits. We click on that. Yikes. Yikes. Right click doesn't go back, left click doesn't go back, space doesn't go back. Okay, so we have, looks like a man and his wife, it looks like. Anne Marie Hansford, game writer Teresa. So the Teresa, I believe, was the name of one of the reviewers. Okay. It could be wrong, but yeah, I think I see what's going on here. Built with Unity, and you're thinking all the fonts, right? Thinking all the fonts to make it look like there's more people involved with the game than there really is, if we're being downright honest. Alright, so, oh, there we go, exit. Okay. So, why do we have no options in a game that's 18 US dollars? I mean, even with the discount, it's still possibly over 17 with tax. That, not a good start, guys. Not a good start at all. I do like the A's here, how it almost looks like they're the paper airplane. That's pretty cool. The A right here, it looks like you could have spent one more time making sure the A was centered between the two P's here, just saying. And make sure it wasn't like right up against the cell. I mean, an $18 game for $18 game, you would expect there to be a little more attention to detail there. Anyway, the only other options we have are quit and start. But thank God, at least we have a quit, right? So many games that I've played in my Myth series have not even had an option to exit. Okay, we have 3 different game save files, so it's pretty cool. Alright. Vela says, come on, why don't you power up? Oh, next. Welcome to Drone Manufacturing Lab 17F. Next. Aha, yes, I can't believe that worked. Scanning personnel identification, error 204, identification repository offline. Running system check. Next. Errors, gotcha. Shutting down to secure the system, contact chief engineer for assistance. Oh no, there is no chief engineer. He hasn't been for, there hasn't been for 50 years. Highly improbable. Checking system logs. Astrological movements do indicate 48,000 or 48.443 years since I was last online. Right. She said 50 years. I think that's close enough. Wait, can you hear me? Of course. Well, don't mind me if I connect this override unit I've been working on. Manual override complete. Manufacturing system online. Access granted. Woohoo! Time to build me some drones. Error 261. Drone customization design files corrupted. Oh boy. Gotta just go with the base design for now. Anything to scout this Nebula and get us out of here. Drone builder ready. Use launch button to deploy. Missed. The start's pretty cool. I will give it that. Alright, let me turn the game sounds down just a little bit on my headset and OBS. Okay. Alright. Wait a minute. Okay, here we go. So, hull plating, so we can kind of choose how we build the ship. A front mount. Single shot, tri-shot. I can't even do the cool ones here. And I can't do that one either. Okay. Okay, I can't do any of this right now. So this is like upgrades, I guess, that you can get later on. Okay, let's just launch. Alright. Right, WASD, movement, Q is ult, A is shoot. Right. Okay. Zone 1. It does look like hand-drawn art, and I like that. Like the explosions look like hand-drawn art. Sure. Okay. So we have a pause button. Let me go ahead and turn the volume down because the music is a little bit... Oh, there we go. There's our settings right there. So you have to get into the game to do the settings. Okay. Let's also turn auto fire on. Alright. So... Well, let me turn my OBS settings back up now that we do have a settings. So to the developer, you probably want to put the settings at the very start of the game as well in the options. So where you have start, credits, and exit. Probably want a 4th button there so you can adjust the settings before you even start the game. That would be nice. But yeah, so that is nice that they have that. Okay. Ultimate attack is the Q button. Also, for the ultimate attack, it would be nice if you would tie that to the right mouse button rather than Q. Right here. So, ultimate attack Q. Let's tie that to the right mouse button. I think that would work better. Anyway, just a suggestion there for you. Let's try the ultimate attack. Oh, I got killed. Never mind. Right when I decided to try the ultimate attack, that bigger ship that looked like berries. That didn't go well. Who trained you? And I thought that went pretty well for a maiden flight. I am not familiar with flight instructor in 1. I'll contact them about your lack of skills when my personnel systems are online. Right. Anyway, how many drones can you make? Unlimited. Are you planning on crashing more of them? I wasn't expecting so many other ships, okay? You should always be prepared for battle. I am beginning to doubt your flight experience. Whatever. Just build another one. I'm ready to take another crack at it. Fine. If you insist on flying so poorly, at least take out some enemy ships so I can analyze the data. Aye, ha ha ha. Alright. Drone builder ready. Okay, so again, we can't even choose any of this kind of stuff. We just have to go ahead and launch. Because I suck. Okay, I wanted to try this Q and see what this Q button does. But yeah, I would definitely tie your special attack to the right mouse button. That would be a lot easier to access, I think. Okay, so I may not have an ultimate attack available right now. This Q is doing nothing. How's this, Mr. AI? Am I doing better now? Oh, we got bigger ones now. Ooh. That's what she said. So we do have full freedom to go all the way up to the top, which is kind of not common in these kind of games. Wow, I got taken out quick. So we see that I got a little bit better there. All right, guys. It looks like you can end up upgrading your ship, though. Once you do well enough, you can start upgrading your ship. And you just got to play until you get good, like you would expect of a, you know, a very competent game like this. I do like the storyline and how you're talking to the AI and how you're trying to, you know, having the AI build you these drones to fight the enemy here in the Nebula. The sound effects are, the mute background music is better than the actual sound effects, which sound kind of like paper, as you would expect. So the reason you're able to go all the way up to the top of the screen is because the enemies do come and kind of take over your location at the bottom. Now, I can say that I've never really liked a lot of 2D games made in Unity. I always felt GameMaker made a lot more solid feeling 2D games, and the reason I haven't liked 2D games made in Unity, especially space games, is because I always felt like the controls felt really floaty, like basically like your ship didn't have any weight to it. But for this particular game here, where you're a paper airplane, the floaty feel of the game is perfect for this exact kind of a game where you're a paper airplane and you're flying over the clouds or whatever. So this actually works really, really well for the floaty feel, or the floaty feeling controls of the game. As you can see, the controls all do work well. I am able to move freely and try to take these enemies out. So I definitely like the feel of the controls for this game. I like the hand-drawn art. It looks like it's all hand-drawn art. Even the explosions definitely look like they're hand-drawn, which is something that I tend to do in my own games here on Steam. I have not made a 2D space shooter like this, kind of like the old Galaga style game. And this is a game very similar to what you would expect with Galaga, the old school, you know, space shooter from like the 1980s. I remember I always liked Galaxian better than Galaga myself when I was a kid. But, you know, this game definitely has that same kind of feel. If you like games like Centipede as well, you're probably going to like this. The problem I have with this game, guys, is as good as this game might be, in the year 2022, this game just isn't, I don't expect this game to do very well with an $18 price tag. for $18, you can almost buy some high-quality 3D AAA games. And I know that pricing my own 2D games, which I've worked really hard on, like Rocket Roll and other space shooters as well, that I feel have a lot of depth to them, is that even pricing them at like $7, it can be really tough to sell them. So, and I'm not going to compare my games to this particular game. They're a little bit different style. I love the novelty of what the developer has done with this particular game. Uh, I think it feels really good. The problem here, guys, is I'm going to be quitting the game. I like that it confirms that you want to quit and everything like that. So I like the game fine. I'd be willing to play it more, but I don't want to risk going over 2 hours in this game because I don't want to pay even 16, 19 plus tax for this game. So while I will give this game a thumbs up, I think the developer did put in his own art. I don't feel like this is an asset flip. We can see some of the other like firing attacks that you can get probably by upgrading those parts that we saw at the very start of the ship. It looks like you can advance and get some pretty cool looking enemies that shoot a lot of different bullets. I like the animations there of that one. And I definitely love the bickering between the main character here that you take control of Vila, and her arguing and bickering with the AI. That is pretty hilarious stuff. So the game is well done. I feel like it has a lot of creativity in it. I feel like the controls work just fine. I don't know that it's the best 2D space shooter that I've ever played of this style. I'd have to go back and play some of the old school ones like Galaxian again to see if this game is really better than some of those, because I remember having tons of fun with like Galaga, Galaxian, that kind of thing back in the 80s. This game probably is a lot better. I mean, it's been 50 years, about since those games came out. But we have some boss modes as well. So the boss mode here, it looks pretty gimmicky, but I'm sure it works really well. I like the cloud of like toxic breath or whatever that snakes seem to have, and I love all the bullets there. So this game definitely seems like a game that is worth playing, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I can't see this game succeeding. I would be surprised if this game succeeds with an $18 price tag. My suggestion for this developer is to make sure you get this game in the $5 to $10 price range. Yeah, I think that's the most you can charge, is like $6.99, $8.99, something like that. And then even then, you're probably going to have people wishlisting this game and trying to buy it when it's 90% off or 80% off on sale, and they can get the game for just a couple of bucks. I mean, here in the year 2022, it's almost 2023 here in late October of 2022. People just aren't willing to pay this kind of money for basically what boils down to like an 80s style 2D space shooter. I can't see many people buying this, to be honest, at this price. So I think this game would do very well if you would lower the price. I would cut it in half, is what I would suggest to the developer. And then even then, you may see your sales be kind of dismal until you put the game on a deep sell. So I wish you the luck with your game. I see it's your first game on Steam, and I totally understand that, you're wanting to, you probably put a ton of time into this game. I know I put a ton of time and hard work into my indie 2D space shooters as well. But one thing about people today is most people just aren't going to be willing to pay this kind of money for a game like this, no matter how well it's made and no matter how much work you put into it. So there's you. Hopefully my suggestions help you in some way. I would definitely drop your price in half, if not more. The lower you drop it, probably the better you'll see the sales. And even then, you're probably not going to see a ton of sales until you offer a sell price on your cut down price. So like when it gets down to the $2 to $3 range on sale, that's when people will probably start buying the game. You get a thumbs up for me as far as the game, because it is a competent game. It looks like a well-made game. It made me laugh. It's fun. The controls work. You do have the settings, as I said, in the game. Looks like you have full controller support as well. I like the game itself. I just don't like the price tag, and I don't think your game's going to do very well at an $18 price tag. So there it is, guys. As it is, the game itself, Based on this is only a first impressions review gate, guys. I don't know how many levels there are, how many bosses there are to beat, but it looks like there is quite a bit of depth just looking at the screenshots and the trailer here, and the fact that you have to, grind quite a bit. It looks like to start getting your ship upgraded with all those parts we saw, the hull and the triple shot and everything there that we saw, the shielding. So I'm going to guess the game has quite a bit of depth to it. It looks like it does. And based on my first impressions, guys, if the game itself, let's assume the game was like $5 or whatever, uh, I would probably give this game an 8.5, maybe a 9 if I played it a little bit more. But as it is with an $18 price tag, remember that my score is based mostly on the value of a game. And I just don't see most people putting 18 hours into this game, which is what you would need to do to get the price per hour to $1 per hour or less. And that's really when I started giving games really good scores, is when I feel like the replay value and the value of the game is going to get the price per hour under $1 per hour. So that means the average person would have to play this game 18 hours. That's not happening. No, your average playtime is not going to be 18 hours. Even your own friends may not play this game 18 hours, and that's just the full hard truth there. So the value here is going to take my score of an 8.5, my initial first impression score of an 8.5. It's going to take my score all the way down to like a 5, just because the price is just way too high. So get the price like under $5, and then my score would be an 85. So there you guys go. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving you my score based on the value, which is primarily based on the value of a game. And I've been doing this for many, many years. I mean, you go all the way back to like scores in Steam games. Back in 2016, you'll see that the value is the biggest chunk of my scoring. So this game gets a 5 out of 10. So definitely not a miss. I was scared this game was going to be a clusterfuck of a game and buggy as hell and not complete. But no, it is a complete game. It does work well. It's even fun to play. It's just priced way too high. So I'm going to give this game a 5 out of 10 until the developer decides to lower his price. So there you guys go. Be sure to comment down below. What do you guys think of this unique game? And what do you guys think of the price tag? Would you guys pay $18 for such a game, minus a 10% discount? But be sure and comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. I would love to know. This has been Zaxter99 with Paper Nebula. And for me, this is a refund at this time. And I'll watch and hope that the developers lower the price for their own good, not to satisfy me, but I think their sales will definitely skyrocket if they lower the price. Remember, remember that it'd be a lot better to sell 200 copies of this game at $5 than to sell 2 copies at $18. You're going to make a lot more money selling 100 copies or 200 copies at $5 than 2 copies at 18. So something to consider. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.